About a week away from the start of baseball season in Tennessee high schools, the season in Georgia started earlier in the month.
But before the official start, doctors are already warning parents about injuries that can begin in Little League and continue through high school. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Latricia Thomas.
And I'm Josh Rowe. Doctors say certain kinds of elbow injuries are becoming more common. As News Channel 9's Alex Gajovich-Protich explains, there are several reasons for these injuries. Alex.
Latricia, Josh, we spoke with a former MLB closer who now trains youth pitchers in Arizona. He says the growing pressure to perform in front of pro scouts is a big reason elbow injuries are on the rise. The harder the throw, the sharper the crack of the catcher's glove. But the harder a pitcher throws means he's gripping the ball tighter, putting more stress on his elbow.
Athletes are starting to chase more velocity because velocity ultimately gets them to the big leagues, and that's where they want to be.
Data and testimony from one major league physician shows that youth baseball players from Little League to high school are experiencing a rise in elbow injuries. And if those elbow injuries are severe enough, Erlanger sports physician Hunter Garrett says players could need Tommy John surgery. That's an extensive reconstruction of the ulnar collateral ligament in the elbow, which takes 12 to 18 months of recovery after the surgery. Houston Astros team medical director David Littner says 57% of UCL reconstructions in the United States are performed on kids from 15 to 19 years old. But the question remains unanswered. Why is this happening?
When you start to chase these velocities, you're gripping the ball tighter, so you're putting a lot of more stress. As far as the medial elbow,
Garrett says it's not just the speed these young pitchers are throwing at. It's the wear and tear on their bodies, too.
Younger athletes are just chasing the speed and don't have the trainers.
David Aardsma used to close games for the Seattle Mariners. In 2011, he says he hurt his elbow, but delayed the surgery. After the procedure, he would not pitch in another major league game for 14 months.
And it's tough to go through, especially when you're watching on TV, all your teammates, and in my case, somebody else take my job.
Aardsma says the reason for the uptick in elbow injuries among youth pitchers is the amount of pressure they face to perform for pro scouts. He says Team USA and Major League Baseball need to start enforcing stricter guidelines on leagues to prevent these elbow injuries from happening.
Throw those regulations across the board and said you're not going to allow to run a tournament or run a league without pitching regulation.
Jake Madole is the head of athletic performance at Chatball. Madole says his organization started incorporating cutting-edge technology like the Vol dynamometer.
Go, and they're going to pull into that little handle as hard as they can for about 2 seconds.
Which, based on stress testing, can measure a player's arm fatigue after throwing for a certain period. He says once the measurements of that technology reaches a certain point, combined with a player's pitch count, he removes them from the game in an attempt to prevent any elbow injury from happening.
Each of our guys, they have their own profile. We have all of their testing history in there, so I can see what does it look like today, right now, before they go out to throw their first inning.
The Tennessee Youth Baseball Association has pitching restrictions for young pitchers of all ages, including a limit of 6 innings per week. Josh?
Alex, thank you. The American Sports Institute says that 10 to 20% of pitchers never make it back to their previous level of play after Tommy John surgery.